there's been a lot of reflection lately from Path of Exile content creators in the community, and I thought I'd throw my hat in the pile, so to speak, and let you know how my journey through streaming content creation has been so far, where I'm heading in the future, what I think of the state of the game, and look, everything in between. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, let's stop that there because this is a serious video. I'm going to keep it light, but hey, guys, my name is Badger, if you don't know me, but you're probably clicking on this because you do. Just recently, there's been a lot of things that have come to light in the Path of Exile community, and, you know, there's been a long kind of churning boil of problems that that people have been experiencing with the game, and problems that have been arising through lots of different things, whether they're personal to certain people or whether they're about the overarching state of Path of Exile. And in a roundabout way, it just seems like a little bit of a boiling point at the moment for Path of Exile. And I'm sure a lot of you who are very into the community of Path of Exile might feel the same way. And what exactly do I mean about this? Well, recently, let's say, for example, there's been a couple of big content creators and streamers leave the scene. Somayd and Crystal both have been around for quite a while and have done quite well in the scenes before, and are both experiencing quite a bit of burnout, I would say, mostly in Path of Exile, but also in streaming and basically just always being there. Now, I'm not going to read into it, I'm not going to speak for them or anything like that. I'll link the videos down below. Crystal's video is in Russian. I don't understand Russian myself, so I have nothing to speak on that, but I've heard little bits and pieces and everything like that. We've also heard from people like Zizarin and Grimro and some other content creators about, you know, their thoughts on the game and through content creation, how long they've been in and how they've grown to where they are and everything like that. And I just thought it was a pretty apt time to talk about my own experiences with content creation mainly, and, you know, Path of Exile on the side there as well. We can slap that one on there. So, look, where do I start? I've only been streaming for, consistently, for about a year. Maybe a year and 1 month. I need to actually find the actual date when I decided, all right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. But I've been, I would say, a year and a half, technically, kind of in the content creation realm, in a way. I'm not sure if any of you remember, there was a series on Reddit, of all places, the Path of Exile subreddit, back in Legion League, and it was called A Road to Headhunter, or The Road to Headhunter, I think, is what I called it. Yes, I wrote that series. It was something that I just decided to do for fun, was basically grind up enough currency to purchase a Headhunter while only doing the meta at the time, which was running Legions in like Tier 1, Tier 2 Glacier maps, Alleyways maps, that sort of thing. Just getting a ton of, you know, gear and profit, selling it off, and then buying a Headhunter. And every single day I did a massive write-up. It was kind of like, you know, little jokes thrown in there, all the statistics you could ever want. Being a Path of Exile player, we do like statistics. And hey, it was just a little passion project that I was like, hey, you know, if I'm going to be doing this for myself, I might as well share it with everyone. It started immediately doing really, really awesomely on the subreddit. I was blown away. It was getting like 500, 600, 700 upvotes in the first few hours. And then there were a few people in the comments that were like, hey, can you like stream this? I want to see what you're doing, all of this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting here in Australia, which is known for not great internet quality. And I'm like, do you really want me to stream in 480p? I'll do it. So I streamed for about, it was about 2 weeks that it took me. And, you know, got instantly 15 to 30 viewers straight away, which was kind of crazy for me to experience something like that and kind of skip that first phase of the 0 viewer grind, the 1 viewer grind, you know, your mum and your friends jumping in and supporting you, and just did this. I told literally no one in my entire life for a good, well, those 2 weeks, I guess. And then, you know, I finished the series on Reddit and I just stopped. I'm like, hey, the series is done. And that was back in, that was 2019, so whenever Legion was. Yeah, Legion League, right? And I basically didn't stream for another 6 months after that. I didn't think anything of it. And then I got into YouTube to start off with. I released a couple of videos on a cool build that I'd made, which was using Herald of Purity minions to scale minion damage and turn it into a summoner with a necromancer. I called it the Sentinel Queen, and that kind of just blew up as well there. It was a cool build that people like to play, and it was kind of the OG Badger build. I was like, whoa, okay, what? Hang on. Wait, so Road to Headhunter did well. This is doing well. Am I just getting lucky here, or do I have something? And I just decided to see where it went. I started up the stream again. This time I managed to be able to stream in 720p because I'd moved place and I had a bit better internet, which was pretty great. And just started streaming. Gradually growing from, 10, 15 viewers in the first month to rapidly up to like 50 viewers, and stagnated around 50 for a couple of months. 50, 75, back to 50, up to 75, maybe to 100 on some league stars, that sort of thing, back and down. Made a few build guides, generated some push and pull from YouTube to Twitch and Twitch to YouTube and everything like that. But getting past that first initial hump of kind of the double digits viewers was such a blessing that just happened. Just from me releasing a couple of things that went not even viral, just semi-well on certain platforms. Yeah, it just kind of started going from there. What was I doing before this point? I was going to mention that at the start, but a lot of you might know and a lot of you might not know, this keyboard behind me is a bit of an indication. I professionally have been a composer for a couple of years, and I studied music composition at university. I was working at creating music, and I still am on the side when they do have stuff for me, working at creating music for escape rooms, of all things. So kind of interactive sound that interacts with the environment and with the players in these escape rooms. Tons of fun. And before that, my whole life has been revolving around music. I grew up playing classical piano, jazz piano, learn a bunch of instruments. I can play bass and drums and all this other kind of stuff, and so I'm kind of missing that right now. Not gonna lie, I'm making this video not only to talk about my journey, but just to let you guys know that there's another side of Badger that you don't really know about that I'm extremely missing, and I want to do more of, and I'm going to do more of on stream for you guys at times. I've done a little bit in the past. You may have seen the Noogie remix video, which was heaps of fun. Props to Noogie for some amazing quotes that I could remix there. That was so much fun. What am I all trying to really get at here? How did this journey go for me? I heard Ziz mention it a little bit, and talking about luck versus hard work, and it's been extremely hard work for me, but it's been work that I've been able to chuck myself entirely into because of COVID, basically. Before COVID hit Australia and hit Melbourne, I was managing the escape room joint that I was at, as well as writing music for them, and I got super burnt out managing and writing music. It was kind of a small little business we had going on, and it was so much, and I had to really step back right there. And then I couldn't even go anywhere because everything was completely locked down around the start of 2020. And I was just like, hey, let's kick up this streaming thing again. Let's put all of that energy that I was putting into that straight into streaming. Now, it didn't help my burnout. It really didn't help my burnout. And I think I'm still a little bit burnt out from the escape room, but I'm pushing through because this is way more fun than I would have ever thought it would be. Interacting with the community, growing a community like you all, talking to you all, growing in the community with these people that I used to look up to playing Path of Exile, because I've been playing since open beta, looking up to these content creation people that I've really admired, and now consider them on a friend basis and everything like that. It's been a really interesting and also very daunting experience for me. I every single day have pretty crazy imposter syndrome still, because I have still only been doing this for a year. I'm still, I would consider myself a small to medium streamer, but I don't even really like using those words. I stream for you guys, and I have a fun interactive community. I make content for you all, but yeah, it's been a year. It's been a year, I'll tell you that. There is a lot that I constantly want to improve with my stream, from stream and content, from graphics to animations to writing more music. My plan in the distant future is to write enough music that I can have my own playlist that I've written of music, so I don't have to worry about DMCA or anything like that going in the background of my stream. And all of my videos, most of the music on all of my videos is music that I've composed, but I want to be able to do more. But it's getting to a point now that, whether will I write some music or will I directly stream or make content that will earn me more money in the short term. So that kind of brings me to that second point you do see over there. Paying the bills, right? What's it like? What's it like streaming? For someone like myself who ranges anywhere from 200 to 500 viewers naturally, 30k subs-ish on YouTube at the moment, it's cutting by. I'll say that it's about it. I was lucky to be on what in Australia we call JobKeeper during COVID, which was supplemental income from the government, because I was still technically employed by the escape room place and still doing some music for them. I was getting some income there. That's completely finished now because Australia is kind of back open up without any cases for so long now, which is I'm really, really happy for. But now it's just me and my keyboard pretty much. Well, this keyboard. I was just lifting up my keyboard and I stopped recording the video, so let's continue. I was basically saying me and my keyboard. It's just me and my keyboard at the moment. Making this money. There's no subsidiary income coming from the government or anything like that, and I'm scraping by. I'll put it that way. I'm scraping by. I'm definitely not really making money. I am saving, but a lot of that is for come tax time when I do pay some taxes back to the government from earning overseas income and some other stuff as well. Just legal jargon and money going out of my bank account to other people. I'm not salty. Don't worry about it. It's really tough to kind of be at the whim of the internet and be at the whim of all of you enjoying my content, staying relevant, figuring out why am I dropping, like this league honestly hasn't been great for me on YouTube. It's been my worst performing league on YouTube comparatively to how I have grown in the past. And I do attribute most of that to just not great content from myself. I don't think I have been on top of the content, but I also know that it is just a little bit of a dip in motivation from this league for myself playing Path of Exile, right? It hasn't been the greatest league. I haven't enjoyed it that much, and therefore the enthusiasm doesn't come through as much in me wanting to make videos and wanting to get some interesting content out to you all. It's tough. It's tough. Content creation is tough, but I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't absolutely love it to death. I've kind of fallen in love with expressing myself in this way, expressing myself in this fun game called Path of Exile that I think a lot of us take a little bit too seriously, including myself sometimes, that's pretty much it. And other games as well. Like, look, in my downtime, I do play a little bit of variety and everything like that as well. And I've actually achieved some of my highest concurrent viewership, aside from hosts and everything like that as well, through playing No Man's Sky at the end of last league. I was reaching, 1,200 to 1,500, upwards of 2,000, sometimes being at the top of the No Man's Sky directory for like 6 days running, which was, it blew me away. It was a really, really, really fun and great experience to interact with a completely different set of Twitch viewers and community members aside from Path of Exile. Quite refreshing, I must say. Because it was right at the time of everyone being quite up in arms about some type of news about Harvest. It was really refreshing, but it was also, it was really scary to see that a game that I'd spent absolutely no time building a community around gathered so much attention. Now, this was due to some drops that were happening as well, but everyone who was streaming in the directory was enabled for drops and you could watch anyone, and for some reason people wanted to come and watch me. It was pretty affirming. I definitely count my lucky stars that it happened. And I want to go back to No Man's Sky, and I want to do more variety because of that. I also want to do more sponsored content, but extremely picky about the content that I do want to do, because honestly, I do have to pay the bills, and sponsored content is a great way to do that. If you're watching this, let me know how you'd feel in the comments below if I did any sort of sponsored content on YouTube. I am much, much, much more likely to do it on Twitch. I don't think I ever really want to do it at YouTube on this point, but, let me know in the comments below how you would feel about that if I was to, forward or afterward on a video about, sponsors or anything like that. Because it would help me. It would. Where's this all really getting to? I guess, paying the bills. I'm paying the bills, but kind of just at the moment. What keeps me going? What drives me in this content creation? There's a really interesting thing I was watching one of Taki's latest videos when he was talking about all this stuff as well, and he mentioned a couple of things about goals, having goals, setting goals, and everything like that. And we talked quite a bit about this on stream as well. And I was talking about goals, and I was asking chat, what do you think, chat, would be a good goal if you started streaming? What do you think would be a good goal that you'd want to give yourself as you started streaming? People were giving back answers of like, have high concurrent viewership, or, get a bunch of subs a month or something like that. There were things coming back, but it's very important. It was very important for me when I started that I had a quantifiable, or a set of quantifiable goals. Zizarin even talked about his goal of, getting partnered within 6 months to a year of starting streaming. I had a similar goal of getting partnered in a year on Twitch from streaming, and another goal of something to do with ExileCon, actually. I did go to the first ExileCon before I'd even really started content creation whatsoever. I went to ExileCon. I had a great time there. It was super fun. And I saw how much fun everyone was having, and I saw how much fun everyone was having interacting with content creators and sharing their love of the game, and all these people really, really enjoying things. And I kind of said to myself, flying home from ExileCon, I want to be invited to the next ExileCon. I want to be personally invited by GGG to the next ExileCon. That's not in like a boot scrapey kind of groveling type of way. It was a way of, I want to be recognized enough in the community that it would make sense for GGG to reach out to me for that. Look, I don't know if that's going to happen. I have no idea. I don't know if there's going to be another ExileCon. I don't know where they're going to do the next ExileCon, but I consider myself now in a place where that is actually a possibility. And that's extremely affirming to me. So, that goal is still running. That goal's not going to be hit or not hit until the next ExileCon comes. If the next ExileCon comes and I don't get, personally invited, hey, that's totally fine. It's a goal that I've set for myself. A weird goal. It's a strange one, but it's something that I can focus my energy into and move towards. Other goals were, as I said, getting partnered in a year. I managed to get partnered in 8 months, which I was extremely happy about. Beating, shaving a whole third off that time frame was another really affirming thing for me. And then since that point, the last 4 months, tripled my stream growth basically. And it's crazy to look back even day to day and go like, ugh, viewers aren't good today. Oh, YouTube's not good today. And I look back a month, 2 months ago, and I'm like, I'm doing so much better. Which is the sad reality of always online content creation. You're always comparing yourself to how your previous best was, and nothing else before it. You're not, it's really difficult to kind of look at things and look at things objectively and go, so here's the growth, here's the graph, check it all out, look at it over time. What's the growth of all of this? This is a dull period in Path of Exile. This is a dull period in streaming. This is January. This is, May. These times do happen. It's really, really hard to do that as one person, content creating. Some content creators hire people to help them with videos, even hire them to, help with marketing and everything like that. And I'm getting to a point where I might consider doing that soon, but it's so extremely hard for me to hand over. It's kind of it's a little bit of a flaw that I have, that it's really difficult for me to hand over any sort of creative direction to anyone. It is quite a flaw with me, and it was part of the reason I got burnt out in my manager job, and some other stuff as well. It's just, happening in life. It's difficult, but I think that's the next step for me to grow. There's a bit of a ramble there, but I hope you guys enjoy that kind of stuff. I'm not done with the video yet because we've got a couple more topics to talk about. I first just want to quickly once again address Somayd and Crystal leaving Path of Exile, and the kind of general air around the Path of Exile community at the moment. It's been pretty unnerving to kind of see a lot of people upset. A lot of people really extremely upset with decisions that the game is making, that the Path of Exile is making, or Grinding Gear Games, I should say, is making. The recent performance issues and ongoing performance issues with texture streaming, some people not even being able to literally play the game, and that has happened in the past, but it seems a little bit more prevalent now. And, there's a few things that I would say on all of that. The first thing is, I always count myself really lucky. Every league, my performance issues are pretty good. Pretty low in terms of how many I'm getting and everything like that. Every single league, I'm able to play all the leagues. It's great. I'm really fortunate for that, and I really feel for the people who just can't play their favorite game. It's not enough to say to people like, it's just a game, get over it. I think that's a pretty toxic thing to say, if we enjoy the game so much that it's getting us frustrated, then that's because the game means a lot to us. It also means that, we could be pretty addicted to the game. There's lots of things in it, but I think a lot of this does come from passion. A lot of threads on Reddit, a lot of videos that have even started popping up and everything like that. It comes from a place of passion, and it comes from a place of burnout. Knowing and seeing burnout in my last job, it's been really easy for me to see when other people and myself are burning out on Path of Exile. And I think we're seeing a bit of that right now, because the game is changing in a direction that I don't even know GGG fully knows at the moment. I think they're waiting for Path of Exile 2. I think they're waiting for that big kind of influx of new people, old people. It's going to explode. We know Path of Exile is going to explode and do very well, and they know that. And I think they're just trying to bide their time and trying to just get by. But what it's doing to the community right now is it's separating us, I guess, from our passion of just like, I'm just gonna play my favorite game, man. Let's just jump on, let's grind some maps, let's have some fun, to, man, what am I doing in this game? I jump into a map, and for 30 seconds I can't even see the cursors above my head. I can't even see my abilities working properly. Like, and why to drop this extra exalted orb that's going to pay for my next build that probably won't work on my computer because it's too high performance? Like what's the point? There's a lot of that going around, and I get it. I really get it. And with everything that's happened with Harvest, with the massive kind of attacks that were happening at the very beginning, and then it kind of quelled down a little bit, and then we saw Harvest in 3.14, and then it was like, hey, wait. Yeah, it is trash. It is really trash. They've kind of yoinked some things away from us there, and then it's like, hey, look, yeah, I get the frustration. I get it. On the flip side, it's been really difficult for me to function in the Path of Exile community, just because of the amount of hate that has been thrown around at individuals, both in the community, content creators, community members, and GGG employees. It's taken a massive toll on me. And some people would say, just grow a pair, man. Like, just like, not you. Like, I haven't had any attacks on me or anything like that. My community's been freaking awesome. Things have been great, but just seeing things happen to other people is just kind of so much. I had to take a couple of mental days at the start of League, which is usually a massively big time that you should be online as a content creator. I had to take a couple of days to just decompress and kind of just vent to the rest of the offline world. Well, just being, you know, my room and my house and everything like that, you know, just how much it feels like things are just falling apart in the Path of Exile community. And that was, you know, it's obviously not the case. Things aren't falling apart. Things are just changing, and people are, you know, speaking up about it and everything like that. And, you know, whether certain things are right or not or anything like that to really rage about it, look, it's ultimately not my place to say, but I'm just trying to just keep positive, and just keep people, you know, being constructively criticizing of things, and not just, you know, shitting on people and the game and, you know, everything around them just because it's not the way it used to be for them. It's not the way they like it or anything like that. It's tough as the game keeps growing, and the game is just growing. People say the game's dying, and it's just a straight out lie. The game is growing and growing. Yeah, next league's gonna be bigger, and it's gonna keep getting bigger and everything like that. And hopefully I can grow along with it as a content creator, as a Path of Exile content creator, and you know, maybe do some variety as well and everything like that. So yeah, where am I heading from now? I know a lot of you like my build guides and everything like that, but lately it's been a little bit more difficult for me to bring out build guides because I've seen a lot of influx on YouTube specifically of build guides, and I've fallen sometimes into this trap of misrepresenting builds or anything like that, just because it makes the most financial viable sense to, you know, release right before a league starts when we don't actually really know where things are going to go. I don't know if I can do that before leagues anymore. I might do kind of build recommendations, but guides and everything like that, it was, you know, it worked in the past as I was growing to kind of get myself out there a little bit, but I just want to be, you know, true and honest as much as I possibly can. Not saying haven't tried to in the past. I try to be, but sometimes, you know, patch notes can just do things. So we'll see where build guides go from here. I run BPL, the Badger Private League, every single league, and that's coming up in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be super fun. I'm going to have a ton of fun doing that, so come and check that out if you want to. And yeah, I'm just going to continue to push. As I said, setting goals and setting big goals is a big thing. You know, this time next year, I want to be at 100,000 YouTube subs, and that is going to require me to hire an editor. That's going to require me to get up some stream highlights. That's going to require me to polish off some more build guides later in the league, get strong build guides. That's also gonna, you know, mean that I should probably focus a little bit more on some meta topics, because I do like to avoid the meta because I don't know, I've always had an aversion to meta in every single video game that I've ever played, but you know, it just means that I will have to focus on things that will gain that. I'm not gonna, well, me saying that is kind of, you know, a subsequent cry for subs, but I'm not gonna talk about that or anything like that here. All I really will say is, you know, if you have enjoyed my content in the past, it's the best way to help me. It really is right now. YouTube has been most of my success on Twitch. People from YouTube finding me on YouTube and then jumping over to Twitch. It's been amazing. That was a bit of a ramble, wasn't it, guys? Thanks for watching, I guess. That's all I really have to say. To finish off, I'm going to pull out a card here from my my commander deck, my black-white aristocrat commander deck, and I'm going to read the flavor text on this card, and comment below with what card you think it is if you're a Magic the Gathering fan. Liliana seized the reins of Bolas's vast army, gritting her teeth behind the chain veil.